Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is releasing on January 26, a brand new story featuring Ichiban Kasuga and Kazama Kiryu. Speaking of Kiryu, this game could potentially be the conclusion to a saga. So what's it about? Is it worth the purchase? Well, you've come to the right video, as this is another everything you need to know before you buy, where I gather all the news and trailers from an upcoming game, showcasing the story, the gameplay, and formulate an opinion on whether you should buy this game, giving you some guidance and knowledge. So here's everything you need to know before you buy Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Infinite Wealth was first announced on September 14th during the 2022 RGG Summit. It is the sequel to Yakuza Like a Dragon and Like a Dragon Gaiden: The Man Who Erased His Name. In the announcement trailer, we saw Ichiban walking alongside with Kiryu, who's sporting a new look, and with the release of The Man Who Erased His Name, we now know what Kiryu's been going through and his affiliation with the Daijoji faction. Now, there's been a lot of trailers showcasing the story and the gameplay. You may have noticed that Infinite Wealth takes place in Honolulu, Hawaii, a new location for the first time in the series, which brings up the question, how did our protagonist end up in Hawaii of all places? From the story trailer, we see that Ichiban has left behind his Yakuza past, now recently found work as a salaryman in Yokohama. We see him celebrating with his friends, Namba, Adachi, and Sayako. There's even a scene where Ichiban proposes to Sayako, which looks like it was a success, but I doubt it. The following morning arrives and Ichiban wakes up to a text saying that his contract has been terminated. He finds out that a VTuber, you don't see that every day, named Tadara Hisoka has exposed his Yakuza past. One thing led to another, and the gang ends up meeting with the new captain of the Seiryu clan, Masataka Ebina, who's recently taken over the chairman role due to the incarceration of the current chairman, Mamoru Takabe. Ebina wants us to meet up with someone, who turns out to be Joe Sawashiro, now a member of the Seiryu clan. He's Ichiban's former superior back when they were in the Arakawa family, and fans should know his involvement in Yakuza Like a Dragon. Joe asks Ichiban for a favor. He wants to send him to Hawaii to meet his biological mother, Akane. Ichiban accepts and he takes a plane headed to Honolulu. However, not long after he arrives, Ichiban would find himself waking up naked on the beach, with all his belongings stolen. Obviously, he gets taken into custody and Ichiban managed to escape from the police. Whilst he was on the run, he bumps into Kiryu, who's also in Hawaii looking for Akane under Daijoji orders. The two work together, and throughout their search, they find out that some criminal syndicates are looking for her, and we get introduced to a ton of new characters, both ally and foe. In the middle of the story trailer, Kiryu drops some unexpected news. He reveals that he has cancer and he doesn't have much time to live. I know that RGG Studio wants to pass the reins over to Ichiban, but there was no need to kill off Kiryu like this, especially what he's been through. I guess all those years smoking finally caught up to him, huh? We do see Kiryu's health deteriorate and he returns back to Japan at some point. However, there's no rest for the Dragon of Dojima, as later on the same VTuber, Hisoka, publicly reveals that Kiryu is alive. We also see Ebina and Joe appearing on the stream confirming the claims. So we've got Ichiban trying to find Akane in Hawaii, dealing with the criminal syndicates over there, whilst Kiryu deals with the Seiryu clan back over in Japan. Now it looks like there'll be two teams you'll be using throughout the game, one in Hawaii and the other one in Yokohama. Due to the new additions to the roster, it seems like some characters may only be available in one of the two regions with some exceptions. For example, we see Namba, Adachi, and Jungi Han initially in Yokohama, but we do see them later on in Hawaii. This could be the case since at some point you'll play as Kiryu, but we'll find out in the full release. From what I've gathered, there'll be 4 new playable characters. The first one is Kiryu. The second is a familiar face from Yakuza Like a Dragon, Sonny, the leader of the Call Me Jewel. I know some people will be pleased about that. The next 2 playable characters we meet in Hawaii, Eric Tomizawa, a taxi driver who's associated with the Yamai Syndicate, which I'll go into afterwards, and Chitose Fujinomiya, Akane's personal housekeeper. We also have other major characters. First, there's Eiji Mitamura, a disabled individual that Ichiban helps out after he landed in Hawaii. He looks like he has a pivotal role in the story. Next, there's Yutaka Yamai, the leader of the Yamai Syndicate. He recognizes Kiryu is alive, and so he's got his eyes on him. Thirdly, we have Dwight Mendez, the leader of the Barracudas, who's loosely modeled and voiced by Danny Trejo. The story trailer shows that the Barracudas are after Chitose and Akane. Fourthly, there's Wong To, a commander of a Chinese mafia called Ganzi. They own the Nirvana Hotel and apparently many underground casinos. And lastly, we have Bryce Fairchild, the leader of a religious group called Palikana. From the story trailer, it looks like they're associated with the Seiryu clan. Moving along, let's talk about the gameplay. There's a lot of quality of life changes and features. It'll take a long time to go through them all, so I'll mention the main points, but I recommend afterwards watching Snowy S. Angeman's in-depth analysis on what's new, all gathered from the Infinite Wealth trial version. I'll put the link in the description. For those who don't know, Infinite Wealth uses a turn-based battle system. Unlike his predecessor, Infinite Wealth has made all the characters have the ability to move within a certain radius on their turn. A big change that'll allow you to position your characters depending on the situation, and if there's an enemy in that radius, you get a proximity proximity bonus that'll do extra damage. Additionally, another new quality of life change is that a majority of your skills and basic attacks now have indicators showing its area effect or an arrow pointing in a direction. Obviously, this helps visually where our moves are going to land, and the moves that pushes a target in the direction can either be pushed towards an enemy dealing them damage or towards an ally who'll do an additional attack, which is new and different from a follow-up attack. Aside from that, you can see that the menus and UI has changed. It looks cleaner and compact. On the character's portraits, you can see an infinity symbol, and this is called the hype meter, where when full, you can use a tag team move. It'll usually do damage and grant buffs depending on which character is involved. Ichiban doesn't have a hype meter, but he has an ultimate tag team move that depends on whether his party members' hype meters are full. Also, Kiryu has an additional ability using the hype meter called Dragon's Resurgence, where he can move and attack freely for a certain amount of time, a homage to the previous battle system of the series. Next, let's talk about the new jobs that are available in Hawaii. There's a specialized travel agency called Alo Happy Tours, where you can sign up to an activity. You'll get a short cutscene with your party members, and in the end, you'll see Ichiban having a revelation similar to Yakuza 0 as he learns a new job. These activities require a specific level of Ichiban's personality and a certain amount of money. The confirmed new jobs are as follows: Samurai, Desperado, Geodancer, Pyro Dancer, Housekeeper, Action Star, Sujimancer, Aquanaut, and 2 DLC jobs, Linebacker and Tennis Ace. There could be more new jobs, and it's confirmed that some old jobs in the previous game will return. The last thing I want to talk about is the minigames. You have the usual activities like darts, arcade games, karaoke, etc. There's a new minigame called Crazy Delivery, which is a mash between the trash collecting minigame in Yakuza Like a Dragon and Crazy Taxi. In this minigame, we're delivering food under the clock as well as earning money to meet a quota. Sujimon makes his return, and this time they've added a 3v3 battle mode on top of collecting. I assume there's going to be a side story which will improve the Sujimancer job. And the final minigame I want to showcase is Dondoku Island. Just like how we managed a business in the previous game, we're now managing an island this time around, collecting materials, crafting furniture, and customizing our island for visitors. This will have its own side story as we meet a cast of characters. 2 of them might be familiar to you if you've played Grand Blue Fantasy: Gachapin, the green dinosaur, and his red yeti friend Muku. Finally, the question you've been waiting for: should you buy Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth? But before we get into that, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down your thoughts on the game. I appreciate your support. If you haven't played any of the Yakuza games in the series, I wouldn't recommend buying Infinite Wealth. If you've only played Yakuza Like a Dragon, I would say it's worth the purchase, but I would also recommend playing the previous Yakuza mainline entries, and the reason why I say that is because Infinite Wealth is potentially Kiryu's final appearance. There's a trailer where Kiryu makes a bucket list, and in-game there'll be a list of unfinished business to complete. Some of the things on that list requires you to interact with certain places, and Kiryu will reminisce his past from previous games, which is a great throwback to fans who have played them. Honestly, it's worth the experience to play through the mainline series and get to know Kiryu's story. Infinite Wealth isn't going away anytime soon, and you can get the mainline series on any platform for a cheaper price, but it's your choice. Obviously, if you have played through the whole Yakuza series, it's definitely a must-buy. However, it's worth mentioning that RGG Studio has put New Game Plus in DLC like last time, so that might change your decision. As for me, I'm waiting for Persona 3 Reload since it's coming out the week after, and Infinite Wealth is going to be a massive time commitment. But I do hope you enjoy your time in Hawaii. And that's it for this episode. As said before, I'm waiting on Persona 3 Reload, and most likely going to make another Everything You Need to Know video next week. So be sure to subscribe and check out the channel in the meantime. And as always, I'll see you next time and catch you guys later. Take care.